So, brothers, this is part two. This is where I pretty much left off on with uh with Kendra G and the dating coach. So let's go ahead and continue with the dating coach versus Kendra.
Okay, so I disagree with the whole thing. I would call that societal programming, like that whole pair bonding, oxytocin, all that stuff. I don't care how many bodies a woman got. That means nothing to me. So, because you can pair bond and be connected. There's people right now that got 30, 40 bodies. They in long-term relationships. There's people that got two or three, and she can't keep a man to save her life. You see what I'm saying? So, to me, there's no consistency there to say that sleeping with anybody is going to make you better or worse when it comes to pairing with somebody.
No, no,
So
no. I'm talking about.
Look, listen, brothers. I don't know what this guy's talking about. Listen, I'm not telling you to go out there and ask the woman how many bodies she's had, but I promise you that if, and maybe this is just him, but if you find out that the woman has had 30 or 40 bodies, you're going to be very concerned unless you just sleeping with her and then you're just tossing her. And that's what exactly what this brother is doing. All he's doing is doing a smash and dash. That's it. So I don't know what type of coach or what type of dating coach he is, but he's the way he's speaking now, he's very terrible. Let's continue.
When we said the woman went crazy, I'm telling you why she went crazy. That's
no,
what I'm
they was
saying.
just they was just
It's a
no, they was
science.
just
Hold on.
crazy.
No, no, it's a scientific fact. You can look it up. That's why when women get. That's why women get more emotionally connected after they have sex. It's you can look this up. I'm not making this up.
No,
So
I know where
you
you're getting it
you can
from.
just understand why some women, you're saying, goes crazy after sex. Now, I'm assuming you don't mind if she's sleeping with other men.
Of course not.
Okay, fair enough. Let's get to some of the paid questions because there's a lot of them.
Why would you not care if she's sleeping with somebody else while you trying to sleep with her? Now it sounds like you don't have a problem being a side dude. I've already spoken about this side nigga stuff before, so I'm not really gonna get into it. But hey, brothers, if you want to be a side nigga, hey, go be it. Just be prepared for the consequences.
Um, there's so many. I don't know if I can read them all. I'll try. SEA said, "Well, no, I think it depends on the type of woman you're dealing with. I think your pool is attracting your kind." So,
Um,
okay,
I've
Kendra,
talked
he's
to hundreds.
recording. He's
I'm
recording.
not.
Go back and watch.
I'm not recording anything, Kendra. You're gonna see this. I ain't recording nothing.
Okay. Emotional cancer said, "Let's hear from his ex-wife. This is a to me red pill.
Me and her, we still in contact. We saw each other not that long ago. So
Y'all still
she'll
have
have.
sex?
Yeah, we did.
Was that the woman you was with on Thanksgiving?"
No.
Ooh, child, so you still sleep with your ex-wife. I don't know. You seem very transparent. How many women are you currently having sex with?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I had to sit down and think about it. I know over the last month I slept with 7 different women, new women.
In the last month?
Yes, ma'am.
So, brothers, he used the word vetting. How is he vetting any woman if he has already slept with 7 different women in the last month? And brothers, keep in mind earlier, he said he slept with a woman on Thanksgiving. This um this show it was being done on a Sunday after Thanksgiving. And keep in mind, brothers, he's also going on a date right after this show. And you know what's crazy, brothers? There's going to be some women that's actually going to inbox him. There's going to be some women that's going to inbox him and try to get with him, even though he's being very transparent. There's still going to be some women that's going to try to get with him, and that just goes to show you that that these women are delusional. They don't care.
Okay. And all these women know that you're sleeping with this amount of women.
I mean, they don't know that because they don't ask. I just give the
Well, they
information
gonna
that's
know now.
necessary. That's fine. I'm living in my truth.
Okay. Willis Wilson said, facts, women act brand new depending on the guy situational. I can agree with that.
Facts.
I said that to you. I can agree with that. And that is a reason why. And again, I don't claim to be a dating coach, but when you talk to people for almost 5 years, you hear men's assessment. And that's one of the things I hear the most is men get mad at women's standards because they feel like the standards only apply to certain men. So I've heard that before, and that's a point I will give you.
Well, I think guys who wait to sleep with women are weak. So I would
You
call
think
them beta males.
a guy that waits to sleep with a woman? So how fast should a guy have sex with a woman?
It's not necessarily a set timeline that I teach, but it should be what he wants. So, like, if you're trying to sleep with a girl on the first night or the second night, and she says no, she's not that type of girl. For one, that's BS. She's just doing that to you because she don't like you.
Well,
But
hold on. There are some women even that don't have sex on the first night.
yeah, because they don't like the guy. That's the only reason they do it.
That's not true. You can't say that. That's
No,
just not true.
no, I can't say it. It's true.
There's
But
women that are married to men who they did not have sex with on the first night.
yeah,
Like,
and hold on, Rick, I got you. And she leads the relationship. So I'm gonna tell you why. If he wanted to do it, that's an instruction or like a leadership. He was trying to lead it to the bedroom. She told him no. So once he did sleep with her, you can sleep with women like that. But what you're doing is you're submitting to women. So the whole relationship is already set on the foundation that you followed her lead. She told you when you was gonna get it. You did everything to get her. It's supposed to be the other way around. If you're the leader, she's supposed to be doing stuff to get you. So when you say it's time to go into the bedroom, that's when it's time to do it. If she doesn't do it, she's uncooperative. She's not submitting, which is fine. That's her right. But you need to walk away. That's what I tell guys all the time. And so what they don't realize is when you get resistance in the beginning from a woman, like in the beginning, you trying to sleep with her the first night, second night, especially knowing that all women, they done slept with some guy fast. I don't care what they say. The fact that she's doing that, she's setting the relationship up on her terms. You slept with her on her terms. That's a no-no. That's why she's never going to cooperate 100%. So you can get married to her, but she the one that's got the pants on in relationship. So I'm not trying to deal with that.
okay,
So, brothers, I understand what he's saying, but some people are going to take that as him, as you are. Let me see how I could put it. It might look like sexual abuse because now you're trying to force her. Now I get it. She says no to move on. I get it, and I can see where, because in some relationship or even marriage, women would use sex as a weapon. So I think that's what he means. But the way it's coming out is it doesn't sound too good. So you're pretty much getting into the borderline of sexual assault, and that's what it sounds like. But let's go ahead and continue.
let me jump in. So I want to say this: I'm not a married woman. So the things I'm about to talk about are from successful marriages that are very close friends and things that I have learned from marriages. I really feel sad for this current generation because you guys really have no clue about marriage. Everything you just said is about leading, leading. I pray for you in life that no hardship ever happens to you because you're speaking.
Here's the problem with it, Kendra. Kendra's saying that no, that we don't have, or this generation doesn't have any clue about marriage. You don't either, Kendra, because you're not married. You've been proposed to, but you don't have any clue about marriage. And you don't know what goes on inside these other people's houses. Nobody really does. Because on the outside it may look good, but on the inside is a whole different story.
Speaking like you're 24 years old. God forbid you get with a woman and yeah, you're up. God forbid you get into a car accident and you can't work anymore. That woman's gonna have to hold it down. Marriage is a partnership, and this is what's being lost because men have these egos so much.
Listen, I get it, but I hear that statement a lot from a lot of women. They always say, God forbid, like they make it like with like the majority of women, like, or the majority of men are just falling off, and now the women have to go out and just pay the bills while the man is not doing anything. And to be honest with you, how long do you think a woman is really gonna want to have to pay the majority of the bills? And come on, Kendra. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but I'm sure that even that guy is probably gonna get on his feet. He'll try his best to get back on his feet. He's not gonna just be sitting there letting his woman pay the majority of the bills for how long? But he should have questioned her about that. But let's go ahead and continue.
That they keep saying a man has to lead. Well, life happens, and as you live life, you're gonna learn that. And things go up. You could lose your job. The girl gotta hold it down. She could lose her job. You gotta hold it down. That's what marriage is. It's a partnership. It's about two people coming together to hold each other down. But a lot of this is being lost in this art because you, as a dating coach, are teaching men egotistical shit. And that's why I said you're not. I mean, listen, if you want to date, you're right, a dating coach. I don't see how you're ever going to last in a marriage with that mindset because life happens. There's no guarantee that God is not going to humble you where you're going to be in a position where your wife got to hold it down. So all this rhetoric about you being the leader is just bullshit. You want to find a person that you could rock out with life with, and life goes up and down. And this is why the internet has ruined so many relationships because that one piece people don't want to talk about. But I pray that you never have to experience hardship and that you can be this man to hold it down as the way you're speaking. But live a little bit longer and maybe you'll learn otherwise.
Can I respond to that, or you want to keep going?
Absolutely, you could respond.
My response to that, and you might be a little surprised, I'm a lot more nuanced than you probably think. So everything you just said, there's nothing in there that I disagree with. But what I would say is how you start, right, is how you're going to finish. So from the beginning, when I hear you talk about leadership and like a woman holding it down for me and stuff, like, yeah, that's the whole thing. You would want a woman that would do that for you. Like, I'm not opposed to that. I have no ego, by the way. I have no
Wait,
ego. I
pause.
valid.
The reason I went there and I let you talk and I got to jump in, that's not what you just said. You just said that a woman that does that means the woman's leading the relationship. And I will never let a woman lead the
She is.
relationship. So that's why but that's not true because a man could lead. I'm going to give you an example of what I'm thinking of. One of my friends married an athlete. So he's million
Mhm.
plus, right? When they got married, he got injured about a year and a half into their marriage. And then she had to step up. So he came in, if you want to say the leader, yeah, but then life happened. And not only did he lose his career, he lost the mindset. You know, a lot of things come with that. You know, the ego, the cheers. You didn't make it as far as you thought within your career. So you're dealing with just not money loss, but she had to step up and hold her husband down while they had to go through that phase in their marriage. So
Mhm.
I would never agree with, I understand what you're saying as in leadership, but the people that I know that are married, they have partnerships, and sometimes different people may lead in different parts of the marriage.
Yeah. So, and again, my articulation of it, I wouldn't call that leadership, but as far as like the specifics of what you're talking about, I think all of that is fine. All I'm saying is this, plain and simple. If a guy's desire is to sleep with a woman on the second night and she says no, when we get to the bare bones of it, that is a woman being uncooperative with what the instruction that you're giving. That's as simple as what it is.
Oh,
And if
but
you
woman,
keep,
hold on, pause. I want
Mhm.
to make sure I hear you clearly.
Yeah,
So, if a man wants to have sex with a woman on the second date and
uh-huh.
she says no, you consider that uncooperative?
Yeah, because he gave her an
So,
instruction, she
okay.
said no. That's what
So
that
on the
is.
second, so on the second date, whatever it may be, you feel as though a woman should at that moment, if he desires. Now, second date, she's not his girlfriend. She probably doesn't know what they're doing on the
Mhm.
second date. She should be willing to have sex with him.
So this is where the overlap comes in, like the conflating what I'm saying, because what I'm saying is different than what you probably ever heard.
No,
So let
you
me say
said
this.
that she's
No, I got you.
uncooperative.
I'm about to answer you. I'm about to answer you. She does not have to do anything she doesn't want to do. What I'm telling the guy is she did not want to do what you wanted to do. Walk away. That's all I'm saying. She can do whatever she wants. I don't care about it if a
So
woman
you're
don't want to do
saying,
it.
so you're saying on a second date, if a guy wants to have sex and the
Hmm.
woman says no,
Yeah.
you know, you agree with her right to say no,
Yeah.
but you are telling the guy as a dating coach to leave that woman.
Absolutely.
Well, now I understand why men are the way they are because they got people like you they going to.
Well,
Nobody's, again, I'm gonna check out this guy's. I really got to look up his YouTube or whatever platform he's on because I want to know what he is talking about. Let's continue.
They need to come over here more because that's not why they are the way they are right now. They the way they are because they doing what you saying. So a woman to tell them
No,
no,
listen,
and they
I
keep
want to be.
chasing.
I want to be clear, and I'm not a married woman, so I want to say that I'm not a married woman.
I got
That's
you.
why I'm talking about, and that's why I've learned in this scenario, the married men. I'm talking about. They just don't talk like this. I'm just being honest. The married men that I know have been married for years, successful men. All of them told me that their wives didn't give it up to them right away, and that's actually
Whew.
what made. And that's
Sheesh.
actually hold on. That's actually what made her different because they were so used to the women that you slept with in the 7 months, seven women in 1 month that just gave it up. So to them, it's like, okay, this girl has a different set of standards for herself. She's just not as easy because on the flip side, some men look at women like that. Oh, I'm not gonna wipe you up. You give it up to me on the second date. That means you might give it to somebody else on the second date.
That's
Now, can you get? But here's the deal. Can you get? Do have one night stands turn into marriage? Absolutely. So that can be possible too. But I'm just thinking of, I got to go by real life examples of the men that I know are married and still married and
so
successful. They didn't have sex with their wives fast.
okay. So first thing I say, like I said before, money is not a metric of being like a real man for me whatsoever.
So what's
The
the
second,
measure of a real man
I,
to you? I'm
I,
just curious.
I'm gonna answer that. I just want to say this real quick before I forget, because off of what you said, the second thing off of what you said, those guys that most men are weak. Like I would say, 95% of men are beta males in sense, most of them. So just because you in a long lasting marriage does not mean it's set up in the order that it's supposed to be according to like the divine nature of God. So a lot of those dudes that you're talking about, they're still submitting to their wives. Their women are in charge of them. And the second thing I want to, and the third thing I want to,
So explain to me how their woman. So let me ask you this, because I'm gonna just use somebody. I think we will all agree LeBron James is very successful, right?
yeah.
Why do you have to use celebrities? You don't know what goes on inside their house. We don't know. So I don't understand why Kendra used celebrities.
He's on record saying there's no way he could be as successful without his wife Savannah. So do you consider him a weak man?
No, that don't make him weak. It's nothing wrong with appreciating your woman. I'm talking about you saying that the guys you're talking about, their
I know,
wives made
but
them.
they would say, but they say, hold on, they say the same exact thing LeBron James says. I just used him
Yeah, yeah.
as an example because we
No, it's
all.
nothing wrong with saying that. That's not what I'm
Okay,
talking
so
about. It's
that's
the
what I'm
point.
talking
It's the
about.
part.
These are, but LeBron James, hold on, LeBron James literally falls into the category of what I'm speaking of. He is on a record of saying he would not be where he is without his wife Savannah. He's on record saying this. So how does it not apply to LeBron James, but every other guy I'm talking about who literally has said the
Yeah.
same thing? I'm confused.
So it's I got you. So it's not that rhetoric. Like them saying that in itself is not bad. That's there's nothing wrong with that. I have no problem with that. The part that I'm highlighting that we're focusing on that I don't want you to skip over is where you just said the men you're talking about. I don't know LeBron James' situation with how he slept with what's her name, Savannah or whatever. When you talking about the guys that you saying that their wives made them wait. So as soon as I hear that, I know that they submitted to her on her timeline. You see what I'm saying? They gave her an instruction. They wanted something. She did not want to do it, which is fine. Like I said, a woman has that right. But what I'm saying is the fact that he kept going, now he's chasing a woman. He submitted to her on her timeline to get the box. So he's a submissive man. And those dudes are confused. So those are the same guys that will say that they want submissive women, right? So I don't agree with the rhetoric where you said a guy will sleep with a woman and say, "Oh, she gave it up to me fast. She must have did this for everybody." That's a weak way of thinking. When if a woman don't submit to me and sleep with me when I'm saying, whether it's the third date, fourth date, first date, I'm discarding her because she's uncooperative. So for me, those guys, they reward women who disobey them and they submit to them. For me, I give girls place in my life that sleep with me the first night. You're not no thought because of that. That's good. The girls that tell me I'm not that type of girl, I know she a liar because she did it with somebody else and she's just trying to do that to me. So why would
Well,
I
I want to
submit
just
to
say
her?
this. For your experience, that's fine. But there's a lot of good, beautiful women who do not have sex on the first date. So don't say every woman. You can say women that you have come across, and that's what you attract. So that's fine. I'm not here to judge. I can't talk about. I'm only gonna for a second. I'm only gonna use celebrities because we all know celebrities. So FYI, okay? I don't know the timeline of LeBron James and Savannah James, so we'll move forward. So, but we do know Russell Wilson and Sierra did not have sex right away. So, to you, Russell Wilson is a weak man.
Yeah, he's a beta male, 100%.
Well, I think women, you should all want beta males because
No,
if
no, they
Russell,
should.
hold on, pause. If Russell Wilson, a man who is a family man, very, very successful, has no problem making his wife feel appreciated.
Here's the problem with using Russell Wilson as an example with and Sierra. 90 and I know this is probably a high number. 98.9% of men are gonna probably think the same way this brother thinks, that Russell Wilson is a beta male. You got to think she dealt with Bow Wow. Bow Wow I believe, got somebody else pregnant while they were engaged. Also, we all know that she dealt with Future. And I believe Future already had 8 or 9 kids when them two were together. I could be wrong about the number of kids, but Future already has kids. It has already been known that Future doesn't really, at least according to the media, he doesn't really spend time with his children. And she knew that. So she dealt with two. I'm not gonna even call those two alpha males. What I would call them is they basically did what they wanted to do. Now she dealt with Russell Wilson and she made him wait to have sex. I bet you she didn't do that with the other two. I bet you she didn't do that with the other two, with Bow Wow or Future. But she made him wait. Is that fair? Let's continue.
In love because she brought, I want to say, three of his children into this world. Ladies, just start praying for beta men. I don't care what you call the adjective to be, but any man that thinks Russell Wilson is less than is the type of man you should not want to date. That's a sad guy. Because that's the type of man that most men should strive to be like. There is nothing this
Kendra, you must be crazy. Most men should strive to be like Russell Wilson? I don't even think y'all don't even want no. You must be crazy. Now you talk. Now yeah, you crazy, Kendra. Something really wrong with you. Let's continue.
man is a whole and family guy. Like married to the woman that brought his children into the world, but yet and still he's a beta man. So you think Future is probably better than Russell Wilson, do you?
Yeah.
Future, who has okay, so you in your mind, Future is a better man than Russell Wilson.
In the context with Sierra, not the whole. Yeah,
I'm
no.
asking you because you call Russell Wilson a beta man. So you think
He is. He with Sierra, he's been a beta male. He's submitted to her, so she
I'm
runs the
asking you
relationship.
about men right now because you say men are weak. I do want to wrap you up. Okay, did you hear my question of I'm talking about men and period. So you
Yeah.
think Future is a better man than Russell Wilson?
I don't know Russell Wilson or Future as a man to answer that. I can only go off the context of the situation.
Well, hold on. You don't know the men that I know, and you call them weak. So how come
Yeah,
these men are more famous? You can make more. You can make more assessment for the famous guy.
No, I know because you said that they followed the woman's timeline to get the box. They submitted to her, so I know.
Okay, well we know. Hold on, pause. So we know that Russell Wilson followed Sierra's timeline, and we know Future did not. So with that being said, you have that information on both. So do you have a higher regard for Future over Russell Wilson?
In the context of that situation, 100%. Yes.
So a man that married a woman that had his children is less of a man than a man that has 8 children by different women all around the world. You as a dating
Kendra, you and him are on different are talking differently, because I know exactly what he means. And even you said it. He did not have to. Future didn't even have to wait to get the box, and he got a child out of her. Russell Wilson had to wait. I believe he waited until after they got married for them to have sex. You would have like she's a virgin, and you're telling men that they should be more like Russell Wilson. So basically, you actually agreeing with what he said, because men should submit to the woman. Look, I don't totally agree with this guy, but I could understand what he's saying. But again, I don't totally agree with a lot of things that this brother's saying. I don't. But let's continue.
Coach are saying that you have a higher regard for Future over Russell Wilson.
And that's you're conflating two things
I'm not
here.
complaining
You
anything. I'm
are.
asking you clear questions. It's hilarious. It's
No, we're
hilarious that
talking
you
about
would be so
the
strong.
scenario with Sierra. With
It's
Sierra,
not about seeing. No. You talked earlier. You were judging men.
What do you mean it's not about Sierra? You're the one that brought up Sierra and Russell Wilson, and now you're trying to change what he said, what he's trying to say. Now it's just about men. You brought that up, Kendra, not him. You brought up, you tried to give an example. And then you're also telling women that they should marry men like Russell Wilson.
Saying how they were following women, and that these are weak men that go by a woman's timeline. These are the things that you said.
yeah, that's Russell
So
Wilson. He's a beta male. Yes, he is.
okay, so you would teach more men to be like Future over Russell Wilson.
In the context of that scenario, 100%. Yes.
So you would okay. So we got to give all the context of the scenario. Future also has 8 children by different women.
He's not talking about the fact that that he has all these children. You keep adding things that he isn't using. And again, Kendra, you're the one that brought up the example of Russell Wilson and Sierra, not him. You brought that up. So now you trying to make him look like the bad guy, even though he doesn't look that great anyway with the things that he's saying. You are trying to make him look like the bad guy. He's only talking about Sierra, Future, and Russell Wilson. Now you're bringing up the kids that he got. He ain't even talking about that. Let's continue.
And what's your thoughts on that? By going by your teaching.
There's nothing wrong with having 8 children by different women.
Now, see, you should have just said that. Now that's where you messed up, because we all know I don't. And again, I'm just on the outside looking in. From what the media is saying, he's not really taking care of his children. So now you look bad.
Child. Well, this is so funny to me. This is literally funny. It's literally funny. Um, it explains the current state of how men date. And hey, I mean, it is what it is. It's hilarious to me that
Are
you
we
would
able to
actually
read the
have a.
question? Because
But
or no?
it's hilarious that you think there's nothing wrong with having 8 kids by 8 women, and you would put them on a higher regard than a man who is building a house and a home for his family. But hey, I mean, that explains it all. I mean, it literally.
And now I'm thinking that the brother is recording this. I wonder if he is recording this for his own social media platform.
Explains it all to me. Explains it all. All right, I think we had to go. I mean, it went out, but some of these questions I
Yeah, we could
wanted
just
to
answer the
ask.
questions because we keep going on. If you're okay with that, I'm being respectful of the.
So I'm pretty much done here. I'm not gonna go into him answering all these questions. But brothers, listen. I don't follow this guy, but I am gonna try to look up his YouTube page or whatever social media platform he's on, because I need to see who this guy is. But this was a very terrible interview, very terrible on both parts. So, but brothers, I don't advise you to follow this guy. I don't. Some of the things that he said is not. He is no. I don't know what type of dating coach he is, but if this is the type of advice that he gives, it's terrible. I can't. I ain't for it. But that's pretty much it, brothers. We'll I'll probably do a follow up, find out, and hopefully I'm gonna be looking for this guy's social media platform, and I'll probably react to it. But that's it. Peace out.